Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Tita Lavinia of Titas of Pageantry, and for this episode, I will be discussing the standouts at the recently concluded Miss Universe Philippines 2020 Q&A preliminary. So please make sure you stick around and please subscribe as well as hit that bell notification button for your weekly pageant picks.
Rain on me.
You're doing well. It is past 7 in the morning. I know it's too early for this full makeup, red lipstick situation, but I am hustling. It is October 23rd, and today also happens to be the day of the preliminary. So I don't know if I'm able to squeeze in another episode for the preliminaries for you, but don't worry, I will definitely release a review for the finals this coming October 25th. But because Q&A is very important, I decided to do an episode solely on Q&A. It's just that the materials that I needed was not uploaded in completion up until late last night. So I had to give myself some time to watch everything, list down everything, check out the comments, check out the opinions of other people before I came up with this list. And I'm really very excited because we have more than 40 candidates at Miss Universe Philippines. And if you remember my previous episode about Miss Universe Thailand, not the teaser that I know you're really tickled with, but it had something to do with expressing a sigh of relief that a lot of our girls could go head to head with anyone from Southeast Asia, maybe the other Latin countries, because a lot of our girls are really good when it comes to comm skills. Now, just to give you a little bit of a background, when the girls were first introduced to us, a lot of us raised our eyebrows because a lot of us thought that they were not at par physically with the girls that we were used to in the beauty pageant arena. But I do know, and I do remember from the press conference that I attended, that they selected these girls particularly because of their communication skills. And it was all proven last night with the completion of 4 episodes of the Ringlight Series, wherein we heard all of the girls answer questions within 30 seconds. Only a few faltered, but with more than 40 candidates, that's just a small percentage of those against those who did really, really well. So I'm really excited to come up with this list because this is actually a very difficult list. So, the girls are now in Baguio at the Baguio Country Club. So what the organization did was that they set up an area at the country club so that the girls could come in and the girls could really perform with us as audiences, because this is something that hasn't been done before. Closed-door interviews are somewhat mythical. We don't know what goes inside, but now we do. We do know that all of the ladies get the same set of questions, and now we know that all of the ladies are given 30 seconds. So, let's go ahead and start what really happened. I have a top 12 on my list, but before I come up with the top 12, I couldn't come up with top 10, I'm so sorry. I will have to mention the other ladies who did well. So, my special mentions are Miss Albay with her sexy accent. Her name is Paula Ortega. She was born and raised in Spain to Filipino parents. I also like Batanes. Batanes is very endearing. She did sound more serious and she did look more serious, but she's endearing because of her memorable answer on how she got to Manila. From Batanes to Manila, she had to board a cargo ship because they recorded the first case of COVID in Batanes, cutting all transportations to and from the islands. So, I mean, that's a cool story, right? And I've seen some pictures of her, in that cargo ship. I also would like to give a shout out to Biliran, who did really well in her interview given her very young age. I also want to give a shout out to Cagayan Province, who was enthusiastic and bubbly. I know she is a flight attendant, but for me, I felt that she was someone that you could really listen to, let's say, for a museum tour. I mean, she does have that vibe that keeps you going. I would also like to give a shout out to Cebu City, April Smith, who looked super statuesque and stunning. She got a little emotional with her Q&A, but it did showcase her skills, and it did showcase how far she has gone from her Binibini stint to her Binibining Cebu stint and now at Miss Universe Philippines. This one is a cutie. I also like the performance of Tracy Maureen from Cebu Province. Whenever I look at her, I remember romantic comedies. I mean, she does have that vibe. She was very relaxed and she was very bubbly during her interview. There. I would also like to give a shout out to Davao del Norte. Now, I never got to have any interactions with Davao del Norte, either through DMs or through requests for interviews. We never had that interaction, but I was always very interested in what she has to say, because I did get to watch one of the episodes of the Ringlight Series in which she had more of an airtime. And listening to her, she has a good tone to her voice. Her voice sounded like butter. It was soft, and she knew how to play with her inflections. So the only thing that made me not include her in my actual list was that she delivered her answers in Taglish. Now, I know they are allowed to speak in Taglish, but for me, some things are lost in translation. For me, my personal preference is that pick a language, either English, Tagalog, or maybe your own dialect. Because when you speak in Taglish, it's just too casual for me. But that's just my personal opinion. Next, I would also like to give a shout out to Makati. You know, Makati went head to head with Catriona Gray in 2016 at Miss World Philippines, and she finished first runner up. So since then, she has grown, she has matured, and I liked how she discussed how Makati is not just a business center, but an area that's really full of history. So it was nice to hear Ivana talk about Makati in a way that seems to be loving where she actually came from, where she grew up. So it was nice to hear Ivana talk about that. I would also like to give a shout out to Mandawi. You know, Mandawi, even before this competition, we've already known her. We know a little bit about her because she is a motivational speaker as well. So we know her skills, and she did deliver. Also, props to Pasig, who matured and who sounded more in command this time, because Rihanna Pangandian of Pasig, she has that vibe that seems very shy, but I'm glad that now she seems to be more in control. And then, of course, we have Romblon, who talked about the pandemic, who looked like a hybrid of Janicel, Maria Gigante, and even Gazzini. She was Vavoom personified. So there. Now, I also want to mention these girls because I feel that, there's something to talk about these girls. Jen San, she was nervous. I mean, she was really nervous, but she was fun to watch, and she made everything so light and effervescent. Miss Manila. Now, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. I think this is good because she did show personality, but bad because you just don't know whether she wants that crown or not. She was all over the place. So you don't know if she took a shot of vodka or maybe finished several bottles of Red Bull. You didn't know what she was up to. She had so many movements. She had so many, punchlines, but it was fun to watch, but maybe not someone you would consider for the Miss Universe representation. You'd probably get a little nervous. So there. I also want to mention Muntinlupa. Now, Muntinlupa, I know, grew up abroad. She has a very sultry tone to her voice. I mean, I could listen to her narrate a movie or maybe a podcast. She does have that very ASMR thing going on with her voice. So yeah, go Muntinlupa! So now I will be talking about my top 12 list for those who really did so well in the competition. I'm going to start with Pangasinan. Now, this is something very exciting for me because no one really talks about Pangasinan. And when she arrived, she looked really nice. I mean, usually her styling is a little bit hot and cold, but Pangasinan during that Q&A sesh, she looked put together. She had on a skirt that was chartreuse. More on chartreuse later, but more than that, she was in command of what she was saying. She aced everything. Her accent was neutral, but she had very little mistakes when it came to like delivery, but more than that, she had weight in what she was saying. So I really, really like Pangasinan. I also like Pampanga. Now, Pampanga has a very neutral accent as well, so none of that crazy thing going on, but she answered all of the questions with passion. She's very passionate about Pampanga, and you could really feel that she's very informed and she's very well researched about her province. So it's really nice to hear someone with that passion talk about a place where they came from. Ooh, Oriental Mindoro, Doctora Adi, for me, she is very interesting because at one point, Doctora Adi's team contacted us and asked us to submit some questions so that they could train Doctora Adi. And when I submitted the questions, they also said, you know, Tita, maybe you'd like to watch her performance and maybe you would like to give her some feedback. And I did. I watched her performance. She did really well. Doctora Adi has really, really good comm skills, but I did mention to her team that she has to keep her nerves and her emotions intact because Doctora Adi has a habit of being too emotional, and sometimes when you cry within a 30-second limit, it eats up the time. So I'm glad that during the Q&A preliminary performance that she had, she got a little emotional, but she was able to control her emotions and she didn't really cry as much. So there. This one is a happy surprise for me. Miss Sammy's Oriental. Her name is Caroline, and she was really cute. She was very conversant. She was very relaxed. She was a happy surprise for me because I don't know. I just didn't realize that we would be listening to someone that cute, with someone who knows what she's talking about, someone who's really proud of her roots, and someone so proud indeed that she wore a corset made of a woven mat. So there. Okay, so I want to talk about Laguna this time because whenever I see Laguna, I see someone who is established, someone who's really classy, and when you listen to her, because she is also a magna cum laude graduate, it really shows. I feel also that she has a lot of experience because the tone of her voice and her delivery isn't young and giddy. It's very direct to the point. It's passionate, and in a way, it's also classy. I think about someone who's very established, and it really shows with the way she delivered her answers. She was very sure of herself, and for me, that exudes confidence. I mean, you could really hear her. She seems very informed about what what her beliefs are and what her province has to offer. So I want to talk about Pasay this time because I feel that the team behind Pasay did do a really good job in marketing her and in letting everyone know that the narrative behind her had something to do with her really good comm skills. So her command in English is good, but more than that, it had something to do with her delivery. She's very relaxed and she's very conversant, which is someone or something that I really like in a candidate. I like candidates who like having conversations, and Pasay does have that vibe. So now I am moving on to my top 6 favorites, and I am talking about Iloilo, my my God, did you see her come in? She was like Natalie Portman, Kelsey Merritt, Megan Fox, Megan Young, Selena Gomez rolled into one. I mean, behind that mane of wild hair is that super pretty face. But she isn't just a pretty face. I mean, she's only 23 years old. You have watched my videos, the video before this, not the teaser, but the video before this. So you guys know what she's capable of, and Rabia delivered. Like, she really delivered. If you check out the comments on social media, a lot of people would really give credit to Rabia because she is someone who checks out what needs to be improved and does everything to improve her shortcomings. Now, she is a lecturer, so we know for a fact that she's comfortable speaking in front of a wide audience. But she does fall into a category that seems to be lecturing people, and I'm glad that during that performance of her, she was able to pull back and she was able to look confident. She was able to deliver what she needed to say in a concise manner. So there. Ooh, this one is my favorite, Aklan, because she is enthusiastic. She's very charming. You know, Christelle bagged the Ginebra campaign. Now, the Ginebra campaign, I know it's a little questionable because it's an alcoholic beverage company, and I know that they like sexy girls on their calendars, but they did choose Christelle. And what Christelle brought to the table, at least for Ginebra, is class. There was nothing vulgar about her. So coming into Q&A for the preliminaries, we just did not realize that she had everything in her because we knew that she's someone sweet, a little reserved. We didn't realize that she could pack everything in 30 seconds. She had, I think, out of all of the girls, she had more to say in that 30-second limit. Next, this one is a favorite of mine. I think a lot of people waited for her because at around the time the ladies arrived in Baguio, we didn't hear anything from her for several days. And then they released a teaser for the Ringlight Series wherein it went viral because she did mention that she is Billy Hackinson and that she is bisexual. I mean, isn't that such a powerful statement? But it's even more powerful because Billy showcased it in such a way that was so nonchalant. I mean, she was there, she delivered, she was cool, calm, and collected. Whatever it is, whatever flight attendant training she had, I mean, it really showed. She was really composed and confident during that Q&A session, and you wanted to hear more from her. But what endeared me to her was that we share the same color. Now, the followers of Titas of Pageantry know this, but yes, my favorite color is actually chartreuse. I can spell it to you, but not now because my time is ticking. There you go. Another heavy favorite is Parañaque. Now, everybody waited for Parañaque because everyone knew that Parañaque could deliver. And she did deliver. Not only was she charming, she was really pretty. She reminded me of Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I mean, she does have that fairy tale vibe going on. But more than that, I loved listening to her voice. She's very calm. She could even produce, I don't know, a YouTube video or maybe a podcast to make people sleep. And I'm not saying that because she's boring, but because she does have that calming effect on people. And I liked how she delivered her words. Maybe in some questions she lost track of time, but it just shows how passionate and how enthusiastic she is in delivering what she wants to say. Next, this one is stranger to all these things, comm skills. I'm talking about Quezon City's pride, Michelle Gumabao. Now, Michelle Gumabao at one point also went head-to-head with Catriona Gray, our benchmark for everything comm skills related. So we knew from day one that she would ace Q&A. And that's actually very powerful from Michelle, because if she could tick all of the boxes, body, passerella, wardrobe, and then Q&A, I mean, this one is very, very competitive. She knows how to play the game, she knows how to do the research, and she knows how to tweak things to win. Let us not forget, she is a former title holder. We sent her to Miss Globe, people. We sent her to Miss Globe. Unfortunately, they did not get to utilize her comm skills in Miss Globe, so maybe she has a score to settle. That's why she's doing her best and breeze through Q&A as if nothing happened. And I like girls like this, because girls like this, they know how to make chika-chika. And I'm all for girls who love having conversations. But my number one list for Q&A preliminaries would have to go to Poholana, Belgian, Pauline Amelinx. Not only did she look the part of a Miss Universe representative, she had everything: tone, inflection, lightness of being. She was effervescent during her Q&A. She smiled at the right questions. She pulled back at the right questions. She had the proper emotions with what she was saying, and you could really feel that Q&A is Pauline's strong suit, and you could really feel that she knows this because she absolutely went for the kill. So there you go, guys. I hope that you agree with my list, or maybe not, but yeah, if you have violent reactions, okay, I do know that you will have violent reactions, and I do know that this will come up, so I might as well add this to the list. Eliza Malinaw of Davao is nowhere in my list, because if there is something about Eliza Malinaw that she would ace, it's from a different category in the competition. What happened to Eliza Malinaw during the Q&A session is not confirmation that her comm skills isn't at par with the other ladies. In fact, I really, really liked the content of what she was saying, because it was authentic. I know that word gets used a lot, but hers was authentic. It was from the heart. It was something that I know actually happened to her. And I know that the causes that she talked about, and I know that the passions that she talked about is something that's not made up. This is actually what Eliza is made of. But I do understand the sentiments of others that she had unnecessary movements, and that she couldn't contain herself, and she couldn't center herself. So she did not sound as convincing as what we would have wanted her to be. But in terms of sense, in terms of gravity of what she was saying, it was there. But I'm not gonna sugarcoat things for Eliza. Even if I am friends with her, even if I am a huge supporter of Eliza, she does have to learn how to compose herself, how to be cohesive, how to be concise, and how to organize her thoughts. So yeah, if you have any violent reactions, hopefully not, yeah, please comment down below. And I absolutely enjoy this. I just did not think I could sit through more than 5 hours of footage just to come up with this list, but here it is, guys. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.